I'm not really the biggest fan of DIY projects. I feel like as I've gotten older, if I do something DIY, I end up just not really liking it because I know it's cheaply made or made by me, or I don't know. I'm just not really into DIY projects anymore. Well, I guess it depends, because if you're painting your own home or doing stuff like that, like renovating your space, I think that's where DIY is very useful. But I think it's more the like weird creative projects that people are just coming up with these weird crafty DIYs that I'm not a huge fan of. I have quite the list of DIYs I hate in home decor. Home decor, do-it-yourself projects that are bad, that I think are bad. So, how many videos do you think I talk about the painted arch, the orange painted arch? Because I feel like I constantly bring this thing up. So we're gonna start off strong with the painted arch because I've talked about it many a times. And that also includes any type of painted shape on your wall or painted geometric shapes on your furniture. I really do despise all painted arches and triangles or whatever. This is an interesting DIY because it's kind of new on TikTok. It's this viral trend where they're taking this really old 60s or whatever fireplace, and it's a beautiful stone. It's a little bit outdated, I get it, but they're grouting it. They're taking grout or whatever material and they're putting it in between the stones to make it look more, honestly, like farmhouse. And it's just terrible. It's pretty terrible, but it's going kind of viral. I don't know. I think original features like that, you should always just let it be unless it's really terrible, because a 60s stone fireplace is, in my opinion, kind of timeless. Unless it's really bad. I don't know. I wouldn't grout it though. What is this DIY? Who came up with this one? This is also a very interesting TikTok DIY, but people are taking electrical tape and creating black window panes on their windows. And maybe in these videos it looks okay, but there's no way that just tape on your window gives the illusion of a window pane. I don't know. It just feels weirdly cheap to me, but I guess I haven't seen it in person. Weird DIY. Listen, I'm all for creating your own art because art can be very expensive, but the plaster DIY abstract art is just not it. I feel like everyone was making this plaster canvas. I don't know. It looks really terrible to me. I feel like it would be interesting to do a video just on art you could DIY. If I did some research and got creative and discovered ways to DIY art that's actually good. So that's actually, I'm gonna make note of that video. Let me know if you're interested in DIY art that actually looks good, I guess. Do not paint your fabric or leather furniture. There is a trend where people are painting old leather sofas. I'm so confused. Why would you want to lay on a sofa that's painted? I'm very confused what this DIY trend is. People are painting their fabric sofas too. This is very confusing. Don't paint your sofas. People go crazy on DIYs. It would honestly be cheaper to just sell that sofa or donate it and buy a used one off of Craigslist and have it professionally cleaned. Don't paint fabric. Another like new DIY trend is the lampshades made out of bowls. Like you can buy a bowl at the dollar store, you can get spray paint, or two bowls, I guess, and you glue them together and then you hang them from like a lamp or a string plug-in cord, whatever those are. I don't know about those. Like, it's a fun project, it seems cool, but in the end, are you really saving that much money? Because I feel like you could buy, a lampshade that just goes over, what are these, whatever the electrical cord is that plugs into your wall and then it has a light bulb, whatever that's called. You have to buy that for this DIY anyways, and then you're just attaching it to two bowls that you're gluing together. You might as well just buy a lampshade. Lampshades aren't that expensive. Even the ones that look like what you're creating are pretty cheap. So I don't know. I don't love like crafty DIYs. I think renovating your own home is like the best thing to do yourself, but these like crafty, like creative ideas are just weird to me because I don't feel like you're really saving that much money. But listen, DIYs have come a long way. Take us back to, you know, even like 2015. I mean, this DIYs have been going on forever, but there was like a huge craze on YouTube. YouTube loves DIY interior design, and we have come a long way from creating like this. And speaking of old DIYs, I feel like people are still participating in this DIY trend, and that's basically taking rope and wrapping it around anything. People are wrapping their mirrors, they're wrapping their lampshades, they're creating little rope shelving units. Some are even putting them as their handrail on their staircases. It makes no sense. I think you should avoid wrapping anything in rope or twine. I don't know, I guess it's not really my style. I guess if you like nautical farmhouse stuff, go ahead and wrap your mirror in some rope. But I don't like it. So whatever, you know, it's just my opinion. Let's take a quick little break to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. I'm actually currently in the process of building a Squarespace. It's super easy to sell any type of product, something physical, your time, your content, whatever it is. Even if you're not creating a store, you can also create a portfolio or a gallery. It really has any template option for whatever you may need. Overall, creating a website on Squarespace is super user-friendly. I'm a dummy when it comes to this stuff. So having features like automatic image scaling makes it extremely easy to just throw stuff up and it already does all of the back-end work for you, which I need. You can also connect your social media accounts. It's actually kind of crazy how easy it is to create your own website. Whereas I feel like back in the day, you needed to know like coding and like back-end infrastructure stuff. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/pagewassel to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you again, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Oh, I'm so upset about this next one because I did participate in this DIY. I didn't create it myself, but I did buy a desk that was made out of windows. It's upsetting, all right? I don't like to talk about it. But I do feel like people are still participating in this DIY trend where you take an old window and you know, you put it on your wall and then maybe you have like pictures hanging from it, or just taking an old window or door and creating any type of furniture piece, I think is just very shabby chic. And I don't know, just like a weird area of decor that I don't even know what category that belongs in. This next DIY is kind of interesting because I don't hate it. I just wanted to throw this in here because I want everyone else's opinion. I actually think it's a pretty clever DIY, but basically people are buying like cheap college full-length mirrors from Walmart, and they're buying, you know, like 10 or 12 of them and stacking them next to each other to give this like giant mirror effect. It's kind of farmhouse, but I kind of like it. I wouldn't personally put this in my home because it's not my style, but I do like this DIY. And I'm curious of your thoughts on this one. So I just had to throw it in there. I don't hate it. I actually like it. I think it's actually pretty clever. And buying a really large mirror can be super expensive. So this is definitely a cheap way to do it. And if you do participate in this DIY, I would just try and find mirrors that are made of metal instead of plastic. I think that way it actually really could look very high end. So if this is your style, a good DIY, a good do it yourself. Grouting pens, do they work? I don't know. I did some research on this and people said it's just a quick fix to making your tile look updated. Basically what people are doing are buying these like grouting pens and then you go through the grout in your bathroom and it gives it this nice update, but I think it's just not long lasting. So if you want, you know, just a quick fix, I guess it's fine. But if you want something that lasts, this doesn't feel like the right step to take. I would just suggest regrouting, or you can buy bleach. There's other ways to clean the grout before resulting to a grouting pen. But I feel like in college or something, that's something I would do. Like when you move into like a shitty college house, I lived in this shitty little college house. It was great, but you know, if we really cared, maybe I would have bought a grouting pen and like updated it because it's like whatever. But if you like own a property, you want to just do it right. Propagation walls are not my thing. Listen, on the last video, I talk about how I don't really like hanging plants. And I think people misunderstood me a little. I don't hate plants. I just don't like hanging plants because it's just not my style to have a hanging plant above me. I still love plants. You need plants. And I always talk about how you need a nice statement tree, you need some cool plants. I just don't like an overabundance of them, and I don't like hanging plants, and I don't like fiddle figs, and I don't like cactus. But to continue on that, I don't like the DIY propagation walls where you take like little test tubes and put them on your wall. I do like propagating, I just don't like the DIY on the wall. I think just take like a little glass and put it in your windowsill. Because I went through like a propagating phase, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like DIY it up onto my wall. So, sorry. All of the holiday and seasonal DIY decor is really pretty bad. There are some good ones though. And I've gotten a lot of requests to do a video on holiday decor. So if that's of interest to you, I'm happy to make a video, but I do feel like a lot of the DIY stuff is pretty tacky, but I think there's some good ones too. But overall, stuff like this is a no-go for me. Listen, overall, I feel like people think DIYs are a more affordable option to getting fun home decor, but I truly don't feel like it's that much cheaper. I think if you're going to create something like a DIY shelf, there's actually something you could thrift for about that same price and way less effort. And if you're someone that loves to DIY, have you ever kept that DIY project for more than a year? Because I feel like after you see it in your home next to your nicer stuff, you're like, why do I have this? I mean, there's obviously exceptions, but I feel like most of the time it looks pretty cheap. I DIY'd a tile squatty potty because I thought that would be fun when tile DIY tables were all the rage, which I also don't love, but I don't think that they look cheap if you do it right. I tiled a squatty potty and I ended up throwing it out because it was so heavy. It was the heaviest squatty potty. I'm like, is this scratching my floors? So that's a DIY I regret. And I think after that, I was like, I'm not doing projects like this anymore, crafty projects. And that goes along with foam mirrors. I never made a foam mirror or a foam table or chair, but those are pretty terrible. So whatever, do with it what you will. Do whatever you want to your house. Oh, all right, that's it. This video was a good distraction for me because I am waiting to hear if I got this spot in Los Angeles that I really, really love. And I think I got it, but it's so insanely competitive. The renters market in LA, it's just been insane trying to find a place. And I really love this spot. So I'm hoping I get it. I would say give me positive vibes, but I'll know by the time this video is up. And then I'll give you an update. But I'm excited to get out to LA. And if I get this place, I'm gonna be very, very happy. Also, a few other fun updates. I'm filming Check Out This Fucking Home featuring my parents' house here in Chicago. We're filming it this Friday and it's gonna go up on Wednesday, so a week from when this video is posted. So if you want to be notified, turn on your notifications or tune in when I post it on Wednesday, next Wednesday. And also, I have a fun little project I have been working on for quite some time that I'm going to talk about later, sometime in November. But this project is going to be released early December. I don't know. It's a very, I guess I'm not really telling you anything, but I have a fun secret project coming out. And it's not even secret, but it's cool. And I'm excited about it. So, all right, cool. I'm going to try not to have anxiety over getting this place for the rest of the day. So hopefully I find out soon. Let's manifest it right now. I will get this home. Thank you, and goodbye, and adios, and sayonara, and wait, this isn't posting on Wednesday. This is Sunday. So check out This Fucking Home comes out in a few days. Oh my God, I'm rambling. All right, bye.